Good morning. You are watching OPtv Global News with me, Sobiali. Let's start by taking a look at the headlines first. And now let's get to the top stories of the day. First of all, international headlines. The Taliban has announced UN-sanctioned Taliban veteran Mullah Muhammad Hassan Akhwand as the leader of their new government. Taliban's co-founder Abdul Ghani Bardar will be the new deputy leader. U.S. Secretary of State Antonio Blinken has said that the State Department is working to facilitate additional chartered flights from Kabul for people seeking to leave Afghanistan. He added the U.S. has been in contact with the Taliban in recent hours to work out arrangements. The Taliban has denied allegations that Pakistan's interference in Afghanistan's affairs. Spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid said that group is working with complete freedom in Afghanistan. Many children were separated from their families and hundreds were evacuated and accompanied from one after the Taliban swept into the power. UNICEF has registered around 300 unaccompanied and separated these children and expected this number to rise. The Hurriyat Conference in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir has appointed jail leader Masarat Alam as its new chairman. In place of deceased Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, Alam would be assisted by two chairmen, Shabir Ahmad Shah and Ghulam Ahmad Kulsar. Heavy rainfall in central Mexico has sparked flash floods in Ecatepec and Nezahualcóyotl municipalities. At least 2 people have died and 1 person is in the incident. Twins 20 months toddler were found dead after being left inside a hot car for an entire day by their parents in Colombia. There have been no arrest made in the case and the investigation is still ongoing. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been hit by the gravel thrown by protesters during a campaign stop. 2 people traveling on a media bus were also hit by gravel. However, no one was injured. At least 60 refugees who went back to Syria have faced sexual abuse, torture, arbitrary detention, rape, and enforced disappearance by the intelligence officers loyal to Bashar al-Assad. A report by Amnesty International said that no part of Syria is safe for returners to go back. South Korea has successfully tested a fired home-ground submarine-launched ballistic missile. The SLBM is a variant of the Optb ballistic missile with a range of around 500 kilometers. About 150 people died of starvation in Ethiopia war-hit Tigray region in August. These are the first hunger-related deaths that a Tigray's People Liberation Front has reported. Armed robbers struck a Bulgaria store on the place Venom in Paris and snatched jewelry worth $11.84 million. Out of force, 2 robbers were arrested by the police. And now let's get to the top stories of the day from Pakistan. Pakistan Army has announced a major reshuffle in its top brass. Lieutenant General Asar Abbas is named as Army's next Chief of General Staff. Lieutenant General Sahir Shamshad Mirza has been appointed as Commander Rawalpindi Corps and Lieutenant General Muhammad Chirag Haider as the Commander Multan Corps. The tragedy of Pakistan is that there have been separate sets of rules for the poor and rich, believe Prime Minister Imran Khan, said former military ruler General retired Pervez Musharraf had no right to promulgate the National Reconciliation Ordinance. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi Tuesday called on Prime Minister Imran Khan and discussed Afghanistan as well as the regional situation. Minister for Industries and Production also appraised Imran Khan about progress and construction of industrial zone. Two soldiers were martyred as a result of an improvised explosive device attack on North Waziristan. The incident took place when security forces were conducted a clearance operation in the Sali area. World Bank has thanked Pakistan International Airlines for its role in the evacuation of their staffers and others from Afghanistan. The World Bank team presented the PIA officials with shields in recognition of their services. 70% Pakistanis have said they expect to see government complete its full term. According to Gallup Pakistan, 48% participants shows satisfaction for Prime Minister of Imran Khan's 3-year performance. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Khaja Asif spoke about his party's growing disillusionments with the People's Party, saying that it was a mistake on their part to pin hopes on the People's Party. He added that we should have kept Pakistan People's Party's background in mind. A small village in Pakistan has created a model for a perfect civilization for the whole world. With population of 3,000 people, mostly Ahmadani, Baluch Rasulpur is a champion of 100% literacy rate and 0% crime rate. National Accountability Bureau Khyber Pakhtunkhwa recovered millions of looted rupees in Hajj scam. So far, 22 people submitted claims with NAP, which has been successfully recovered through plea bargain. The Sindh government has extended business hours for the traders in Karachi and Hyderabad. The notification will be issued before Friday in this context. Now it's time for OPtv Global Science and Technology's top stories. NASA's Perseverance Mars rover has succeeded in collecting its first rock sample for scientists. The space agency tweeted alongside a photograph of a rock sample slightly thicker than a pencil inside a simple tube. Artists and bands must swap private jets for trains, festivals and events to generate more of their own renewable energy to combat climate change. These recommendations are being made by scientists at the University of Manchester to help the music industry reduce its carbon emission to stop climate change. And it's time for OPtv Global Sports News. The world's oldest living Test cricketer has died in Durban at the age of 98 in South Africa. John Watkins played in 15 Tests between 1949 to 1950. Former Pakistan's fast bowler Aqib Javed has advised ex-bowling coach Waqar Yunus to learn the art of coaching before going for another stint in cricket commentary. Pakistan likely to appoint foreign coaches, says Aqib Javed. Former Pakistani hockey legend Olympian Jahangir Butt has died at the age of 78. He hosted the Pakistani flag at the 1968 Mexico Olympics and won a gold medal. Let's get to the top stories of entertainment world. The federal government has decided to allow the screening of foreign movies in Pakistan. The cabinet has proposed that all international films except India should be allowed to be imported into the Pakistan. Pakistani actress Aisha Umar reveals her first look from the upcoming film based on serial killer Javed Iqbal. She saluted to armed forces for protecting and serving the country against all odds. An advertisement for traditional Indian jewelry starting the transgender's model is winning hearts of viewers. The video tells the story of transition of a trans woman. Awkward transgender with self-doubt will transform into a beautiful, confident bride. American Michael K. Films was found dead in his New York apartment. The actor played the character Omar Little in the TV series The Wire and received a 2021 Emmy nomination for his performance in Lovecraft Country. Janata is going to release a new documentary on her life. The 55-year-old shared the first teaser of her upcoming documentary, Janata. The documentary is set to air in January 2022. The release will also mark the 14th anniversary of her debut album. And time for OPtv Global Business News. The Pakistani currency depreciated around 0.24% on Tuesday. The upsurge of the US dollars against the rupees continued. Tuesday's closing rate was rupees 167.63 in the interbank market. Gold prices in Pakistan fall as dollar strengthened in the international market. Bullion rates in Pakistan record a decrease of rupees 400 per tola to close at 1,12,000 rupees. Silver prices remain stable at 14,030 rupees per tola. Government of Pakistan has released about 40% of the development budget in just first 2 months of current fiscal year. The government has released rupees 392 billion for development projects, including 57 billion rupees for National Highway Authority, 80 billion each for energy sector and Gilgit-Baltistan, and 50 billion for Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Registration of electric vehicles and motorcycles has started in province Sindh of Pakistan. PM Imran Khan has said a vehicle were important for Pakistan. They would help reduce environmental pollution. So that's all we have in this edition of OPtv Global News. Keep watching. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.